Let's talk today about cylindrical shapes. As I watched over the group, I saw that a few people have problems with cylindrical shapes, and let's see the basic of the cylindrical shapes, and it won't take much more than 10 minutes, so it will be quick. So if we are taking a rectangle, and by the way, I drew with fine art pastel, and it's Van Dyke Brown from Creta Color. It has a pretty nice color. Yes. Let's see, let's draw a rectangle. Right. And let's use this rectangle, this edge of the rectangle, as a rotation axis. It will be the axis of symmetry, and let's rotate this rectangle in around this axis. Alright, so it will be much more easier if I just do a quick value for this rectangle. So right, and this is our axis of rotation, and we are going to rotate this square around it, and let's see. I drew with this kind of medium because it's much more visible than the simple pencil, right? And now we know that this line here will be the radius of our circle. So I will need to draw it on the other side of the axis, because this is the axis of rotation, but not just the rotation, because it's also the axis of symmetry. So symmetry means that the left part of the cylinder needs to be the same wideness than the right part. So I will take my pencil and I will measure, and it will be right there, and we will start to finish our circle. I say circle, but it's in perspective you will see that it's an ellipse. Right, it's looking like an ellipse. That will be the next video, alright, when we will talk about perspective with cylinders. So we rotated the lower side of this square, not square, rectangle, and we will do the same thing on the upper side, right? So I will do the same thing. I will measure, so I will have the same wideness for the radius. The half of this is called radius, and the whole it's called a diameter, right? If we have a circle like this, right? This line is called as a diameter, and from the middle, if you are drawing just half of the diameter, it's called a radius. So half of this, it's radius. So I will measure once more till here, and I will start to draw the other part of the right, and now this will be, as you can see, we have a cylinder in perspective. So as you guessed, every cylinder shape has a middle axis, which is useful to know, because the middle axis shows us the middle of the cone, or the cylinder, or any kind of cylindrical shape, and will show us that the two parts, the left part and the right part of the cylinder, will need to be exactly the same, because it's not just called axis of rotation, but it's called also axis of symmetry. So if we are using this rectangle to rotate it, we can, let's draw one more, like it's moving, right? It's like, yes, that's the line. Right, and it rotates 380 degrees. So this is when we are using a rectangle, but we can use any other kind of form or shape. So I will make another shape just for demonstration purpose, right? And I will draw a triangle, right, which will have this line as a symmetry line, axis of rotation or axis of symmetry, and I will rotate it. So we will get another kind of shape. Yes, and then as you can see here, we have also the radius, which will need to be the same wideness than on the left side than on the right side. So I will make the measurement, and I will start to finish my cylindrical shape. Right, And from here, from this point where we started our triangle, I will take another line, right? And as you can see, we have a cone, a cylindrical based cone, right? And all of it from this shape. This is our rectangle shape which we used. Right? And as you see here, we have the axis of rotation, the axis of symmetry, as you wish to call it, and also, as you see, the left side needs to be the same wideness than the right side, right? Now I will take another shape which will be a little bit more harder shape, and that's it. Let's see, I will draw it in the middle of the page. I will first I will draw the axis of rotation, the axis of symmetry. That's the first thing you need to know about cylindrical shapes, that all the time they have an axis of symmetry, and that's the first thing you need to draw, right? And let's see, let's make a shape, and I think you will see what this shape is all about. It will be a little bit more complex, but you will guess really fast what is this shape, right? So as you can see, we have a nice vase, and we need to draw the diagonals or the half radius. We need to take our measurements, but now, since this shape is a little bit harder, let's see this line, it's not straight. Right, now it's straight. Since this shape is harder, then we will need to make a little bit more measurements. It will not be enough just the two measurements from the lower and upper side, because we have other forms which we will need to measure. So I will measure the neck, right, and I will draw a diagonal line. I will measure also the most wider part of the vase, right, I will measure it also, it's still here, right, and now I will start to draw the shape. I'm not pushing too hard my pencil, so I will have the luxury to make adjustments for this shape, right? Till here it's good, and I will start to see the other shape. It's a little bit, right? I draw a few lines so I don't mess the form. And voila, we have the cylindrical shape. As we know, it's not finished because we need to finish the bottom and the upper side. So I will start to make the bottom side. Right? And the upper side. We need to be careful that these arches can be the same, right, in both sides. And voila, this is the axis of rotation, and this was our shape. This was the shape which we rotated 380 degrees. And we got a nice vase. Right? And since this is a chalk pencil, I can make a little bit more smudged because it's not a simple pencil, graphite pencil, right? Okay, so this is it. I hope that it was useful for you, and don't forget about axis of symmetry. That's the most important thing. Alright? I wish you a good day.